Welcome back to the Sim to Sky podcast, the show where we celebrate the glory and humiliation of learning to fly. I'm Dustin Nuttall, and today we're tackling the single most panic-inducing part of flight training, radio communications. If you've ever called tower when you meant ground, stuttered through a clearance like you're reading Shakespeare for the first time, or just dead-keyed the mic in terror, this episode is for you. We'll break down how to stop sounding like a goober, why flight sims can help but also won't save you, and read your listener emails and all about the radio disasters that'll make you feel way better about yourself. So stick around, this one's gonna be long, funny, and painfully relatable. Alright, so let's start with the classic student pilot radio blunders. Raise your hand if you've ever done any of these. The pause. When you forget your tail number mid-call. November 12345, request taxi, please. The wrong frequency, telling the AWOS ready for takeoff is a rite of passage. The overcorrections. Tower, Cessna 12345 is correction. Skyhawk 12345 is correction. Sigh, never mind. So, how flight sims help and possibly hurt somebody for radio communications, especially with them. So let's see. The good. Practicing VATSIM or Microsoft Flight Sim ATC gets you comfortable with phrasing and timing. You can botch calls in the sim without a real controller judging you. Unless you're actually on VATSIM, because a lot of them actually do it. The bad is Sim ATC is way more patient. Real controllers talk faster and expect you to keep up. No sim teaches you how to handle say again when your brain short circuits. So, pro tips to sound less like a rookie, and these are not pro tips from me because I am not a pro. Write it down. Script your first few calls. Yes, cheat sheets are legal. Listen live. Apps like Live ATC let you eavesdrop on real towers, aviation's version of eavesdropping on first dates. Embrace the awkward. Even ATPs mess up. The key? Keep going. A bad call is better than silence. All right, so the first email I'm going to read is titled My First Solo Radio Disaster. Okay, so let's get through this one here. It says, Hey, Sim the Sky. On my first solo, I was so nervous I told ground ready for takeoff while still at the fuel pump. The controller said, you might want to taxi first. Any tips for not melting down? Well, first, legendary. My advice, breathe before keying the mic. And if you screw up, own it. My bad, let me try that again. Works way better than panicked silence. So, email number 2 here. It says, VATSIM saved my real-world radio skills. Okay. After 50 hours on VATSIM, my CFIs said I sound suspiciously professional. But now I say, Roger, in normal conversations. Help? Welcome to the Aviation Lingo Creep Club. Soon you'll be telling your barista negative, need full caffeine, over. Embrace it. All right, so let's break down the most common calls and how to not flub them. Again, I am not a pro. These are all from pros that I've learned from. And I'm telling you exactly what I've understood and heard and know. So number one is a taxi call. Sim version ground Cessna 12345 at location. Request taxi. Real world twist. Add with information, ATIS code, or they'll politely remind you. Number two, takeoff clearance. Sim version. Tower, Cessna 12345, ready for takeoff. Real world twist. They might say line up and wait, which means get ready, but don't go yet. Don't panic. Three, a landing call. Sim version. Tower, Cessna 12345, 10-mile final. Real world twists at untowered fields. It's Cessna 12345 entering downwind for runway whatever. No tower equals you announce everything. All right, here's the time of the show where I answer some questions. So, question number one, what's the dumbest radio mistake you've made? Well, if you count VATSIM and all that, calling traffic in sight while alone in the pattern, the controller just said, okay. And that was on VATSIM, by the way. I tried doing it realistically, and I failed. Question number two, how do I deal with fast talker controllers? Well, this one is a problem I have. Sometimes it's very hard to keep up with someone who speaks really quickly. And sad part is ironically, I actually speak really quick as well. Ask them to repeat. They'd rather get it right. Practice the live ATC. Whisper, scream your call before keying the mic. We've all done it. Question number three. Does anyone actually say over and out? Only if you're cosplaying a 1940s RAF pilot. Just say thanks like a normal human being. Thank you. All right, so that is a wrap. Next episode, it's going to be about a CFI confessions, what your instructor really thinks about you. Spoiler, they do laugh at your landings. Want to share your radio shame? Email me at hrdcrmtl@gmail.com. Best, worst, stories get read on air. Remember, every pro pilot once said, on frequency. Keep transmitting.